Good morning and welcome to the Richard J. Curry Center on the campus of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton as we get set for Day 3 of the Canada Basketball Under 15 and Under 17 Girls Championships here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, province's capital. This is a bit of a makeup game, if you will. Remember, Monday night, storm ripped through Fredericton. This was the only game that was unable to be played due to safety conditions, and we're fine and at it. And Canada Basketball, with a couple of open slots on the third day anyway, was able to slide this game in. I'm Brad James. Thanks for joining us wherever you are across this vast land, whether it's British Columbia, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, it doesn't matter. Thanks for joining us as we get set for this power pool game, more of a playoff seeding game, but still two quality programs going head-to-head here today. Well, we're just a couple of minutes away from getting this started. We will be back with the opening tip. And welcome back to the Richard J. Curry Center. We're just 24 seconds and counting till opening tip in this under 15 game between Saskatchewan, the designated home team, and British Columbia. Saskatchewan wearing its traditional white, green, and gold trim. British Columbia black, red, and purple as we get set to go. And remember, this is for seeding purposes, both provinces going to the playoffs. It's just a matter of where they're going to finish seeding-wise. It is moving day here in New Brunswick's capital city as teams will start battling. There's a number of playoff games starting this afternoon in both gymnasiums. And if you are just joining us, this is a two-gymnasium facility, the Performance Center upstairs and the recreational gym down here. So lots of teams with playoff aspirations on their minds today as we get set for the opening tip, and that is controlled by Saskatchewan. Sammy Shields sets things up, moving it into the offensive zone to Jacqueline. Jacqueline looking for something open, gets it back to Shields. She gets inside, pump fakes, kicks it out. Long distance shot by Days-Lee goes off the backside rim. BC controls. Should expect to see. We've got size on both teams. We've got skill, and we've certainly got speed as BC now controls. Dump inside, and that's going to be a foul as British Columbia's Brooklyn Wallbaum goes up. And the foul is going to go on Sammy Shields, so that's just 33 seconds in as we look for the game's first points. And British Columbia's Wallbaum goes to the line to see if she can break the goose egg and get the offense kick-started for BC. In and out. Saskatchewan ready to go to the boards on this. Remains scoreless. And there we go. First point of the game goes to BC. It's 1-0. BC with an interesting uniform combination of black and dark purple. Can make it a little bit different in traffic fray to identify the numbers, that's for sure. Always a challenge, especially here late in the morning, but some good work there by Lauren Johnston. Ignites British Columbia's offense. You can see Walbaum cutting through, looking for it, but there's some long distance shot. Doesn't work from BC's Lee. And Saskatchewan moves back and going to the rim. Underhand, missing that was Wells. And BC in transition. Wallach, nice follow up there. Solid play by Deja Lee. Go to the hoop. That's what they want. Clean it up. And that's exactly what Lee did. 3-0 now for British Columbia. Remember, they are the road team here. And be really technical. Both teams are well away from home. Nice shot there by Saskatchewan's Eden Wells. That's a 2.
You don't get one.
Saskatchewan with a turnover there. Good job by Weisgerber. And moving down is Wells. Fumbling with a bit. Weisgerber gets it inside. Nice work. It is kicked out on to Rathwell. Shot goes awry. BC's going to let that one go. Good heads up by BC's Lily Pink. Saskatchewan coach, interesting comment. That's Bree Burgess, by the way, asking her players to shoot it. Dribbling's fine, but let's cut down the dribbling and shoot. 3-2 British Columbia here. We're just a tick under 2 minutes gone in this first quarter. Power pool game, British Columbia and Saskatchewan. Late sub coming in as Wells comes right back out. Madison Sita takes a seat. And BC stretching it a little bit with Pink. Pink looking for some help. Some good hustle there by Wells, who just re-entered the game, going both ends of the court. Brings it onto the left side to Rathwell. Gets it inside. A little bit of a scramble there. Comes to the right side with Kukera. Dribbling, looking for a pass. Just didn't work. Kukera takes full responsibility for that immediately. Looking at her teammate and apologizing. Every once in a while, the player's not there. Some good reads by Saskatchewan's Hodgins to intercept that. Hodgins gets it back. BC showing some hustle as well. That's with Lily Pink intercepting that pass, taking the ball out of Lauren Hodgins' hands. Hodgins has some size, trying to get inside. Inbounding for Saskatchewan will be Katie Rathwell. Get into Hodgins, flips it out quickly to Kukera. All kinds of work early for Rathwell. She flips it to Wells. Wells trying to look for traffic and kick back out. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. That doesn't deter Logan Reeder from getting it. Good work. They get a new clock to work with, 11, and a nice job there defensively by BC's Izzy Forsyth. Deja Lee getting into Saskatchewan territory. Her BC team leads 3-2. We're still early in the first quarter here. The first game of the day, Canada Basketball Under 15 National Girls Championships. It's been a great week here in Fredericton. We're just starting day 3. Everything's leading, of course, towards Saturday's medal games. Both teams hope to be battling there. Some good work by BC's Tara Wallach. Goes hard to the rim. She's going to be rewarded for her work. Actually, that foul is going to go to Lily Pink away from the play. Wallach had gone hard to the rim. Saskatchewan now with a chance to take the lead. Eden Wells moves in through traffic. Nice pass underneath to Kukara. Tries to kick it out quickly to Reeder. Out of bounds. We saw that yesterday in a couple of the games. Now, this is the recreational gym. Same size, of course, but you have the spacious Performance Center, which is home to the University of New Brunswick Varsity Reds, the U Sports level. There are a lot of foot violations here with players stepping out of bounds, particularly on the sidelines. It is a little more compressed here. It's a small gym. It's more like a high school gymnasium down here. There's a time violation, turnover. Deja Lee, a few too many dribbles. Saskatchewan, good job defending in the front. But we'll keep an eye on those foot violations and see if that is something that continues. A battle in front, looking for possession between Kukara and Lally. Fouls coming on Saskatchewan's Logan Reeder. That's her first, third team. BC with one foul here. 6:09 to go in the first quarter. Long range pass, nice lay-in by BC's Izzy Forsyth, and I wonder why more teams don't do that when facing the press. Just throw a touchdown. Hope your player gets there first. That's exactly what happened and converted into an easy layup. It's 5-2 British Columbia. Nice work inside by Logan Reeder. Saskatchewan doing a good job with second bids here. And you can see Eden Wells, she doesn't mind traffic. Diminutive point guard for Saskatchewan, willing to go into those tough areas. Now Saskatchewan offering pretty good press here, trying to deny BC from getting in for the second consecutive time. It doesn't work. Force does mean that ball is thrown long and out of bounds. Saskatchewan's going to turn it over. Brad James here at the Richard J. Curry Center in Fredericton, New Brunswick, getting ready for another blast of heat here in New Brunswick's capital. It's been that way completely across the country. Of course, they had a few power outages here. Monday, one of the final games between New Brunswick under 17 and Prince Edward Island was played under auxiliary lights. And sometimes necessity is the mother of invention. Shot clock was a iPad located at half court, which was manned physically, of course. And the power did go out a little bit yesterday as well under similar circumstances. Had to finish a game between Manitoba and Nova Scotia under 15s under auxiliary lights, but they did come back on. All the teams, the 15s and 17s, were in one location last night for the Canada Basketball Banquet. Mike McKay was a guest speaker, along with New Brunswick's own professional Kaylee Kilpatrick, who's out of St. John, about an hour down the road. Kaylee is actually leaving tomorrow for Germany, where she signed another contract to play professionally overseas. She's made stops after leaving New Brunswick. She went to the University of New Hampshire, broke a lot of hearts at the University of New Brunswick when she opted to go Division I to play for the Wildcats. Played 2 years in Ireland professionally, 1 in Australia, and now is back for her second year with Widerstadt in Germany. So she had an excellent speech about being confident, especially at this age, under 15 and under 17, battling confidence on the court and off, saying that basketball played a tremendous role, having her overcome that and gaining confidence. Now she's ready to take on the world. 9 years ago at this age, no way would she think about getting up in front of a packed house of about 450 people and talking about goals. And she did it flawlessly last night, so kudos to Kaylee Kilpatrick, and we wish her all the best in Germany. Back to action here now. BC 5-4 lead, getting down in the shot clock. Saskatchewan does get it off with Reeder, but to no avail, and that allows BC to break out with Duralia. She nails it. Big Marike Duralia getting in there and showing good feet, good coordination, laying it in. It's now 7-4 for BC. Saskatchewan with the early territorial play, getting a lot of second bids with offensive rebounds, but unable to convert. Now BC is going to make that play again, see if it'll work. It's just a little bit too far this time for Duralia, who goes right up against the wall in her bid to save that. 7-4. 4:34 to go here in quarter one. Again, under 15 match here at Canada Basketball National Championships. This is the only show going right now. There will be 2 games at 1:15 Atlantic Daylight Time as we really kickstart things going. And inside, and BC shown some quickness, but that's going to be a foul to best for BC. 4:24 to go in the opener. Substitutions going as Megan Weisgerber gets to the line. That's the first foul, by the way, of the game for Kaya Best from BC. Third team. 2 team fouls for BC. 7-4, gobbling up that rebound was Duralia, outletting. Deja Lee. She's being fended by Eden Wells. Deja Lee all the way to the hoop. That just comes up short, battle underneath. Deja Lee gets it, kicks it out to Duralia. BC going to reset with Lally. Into Best, shot clock winding down to 5. See if BC can get anything up. A little finger roll, and that's good. Nice little play. And under control was Neha Lally. stretches BC's lead 9-4 and a turnover right off the inbound. You got to keep your head up on that. Saskatchewan dodging a bullet there. Turned the ball over, but the ball went off a BC player. And Saskatchewan able to control it. Trailing 9-4 with 3:51 to go here in the opener. Southwell turns on the Jets, trying to go coast to coast and successful. Is that exactly? Big bucket by Saskatchewan. Gets off the schneid a little bit. Cuts the deficit to 9-6. Now Saski with a little bit of pressure. Forcing BC under some duress, but Best does a good job. Kicks it out to Duralia. And slowing things down is Lawley. Kicks to her left to Taya Best. She thought about moving in, but some good defense there by Sarah Valley. Long distance shot comes up well short by Duralia. BC does keep it in. Some Yoma-like effort. Saskatchewan's going to get it. They have a jump ball. No, Sarah, that's nullified. All kinds of pressure. We see a lot of scrappy play here early. Trying to cut into the deficit, and a nice job. See if she's going to get. And it is indeed a foul to Wells, who put the shoulder in. Head coach asking for an explanation. She's now crossed her coach's box, that's for sure, but she's asking for something, saying that her player was going to the rim. Not too many arguments are overturned, especially where we don't have replay. It's not MLB. Thank goodness. Duralia, it's into the zone. We've got things heating up already. No big surprise. A couple of Western Canadian provinces doing battle here in the East Coast. Glad to have everybody listening on CanadaBasketball.tv. I'm Brad James. Thanks for joining us here in Freddie Beach, as it's called. Nice long stretch pass. See if BC can convert, and indeed they do with Duralia. And a timeout to Saskatchewan. Burgess very animated on the Saskatchewan sideline. Wanted that one. She was down here in a hop, skip, and a jump, asking for a timeout. So Saskatchewan had a little bit of momentum there, but now trails 11-6 in the waning moments of the first quarter. Everything will again kick into action here later this afternoon with some playoff matches. And a reminder that Canada Basketball is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can join the Twitter conversation at CanBball using hashtag WeAreTeamCanada to share your basketball stories, pictures, and more. When it comes to all things Canada Basketball, it's been a tremendous response here in the community in Fredericton from volunteers. Crew of about 70 to 90 strong, doing everything from scorekeeping to driving referees to the airport, players, groceries today. Quebec had to get some groceries, so volunteers stepped up and took a couple of the coaches to a local grocery store. Because, man, these kids can eat. Everybody says teenage boys can eat. You ever try to feed 12 under 17 or under 15 girls? A lot of fun. These girls making plenty of memories in the summer of 2018. BC ahead 11-6 here, under 15 play, pool play. Looking for some standing and some nice work underneath. Gets the ball into the hands of Marike Duralia, and she makes no mistake. She's been hot here in the first quarter. 13-6 now. British Columbia leads. 2:10 and counting to go in the first quarter. Saskatchewan again has had some looks and had some moves inside. Just haven't been able to make it click, as we saw there, as Logan Reeder was looking for Lauren Hodgins, and it just didn't connect and goes into the stands. Normally this gymnasium is a recreational gym. It's split with a curtain and it's open to UNB students. Different summer camps and all the like, and all that fun stuff, but the University of New Brunswick did a heck of a job converting this into a full-length FIBA regulation court. BC continues the hot hand. That's a pair off the right hand of Taya Best. 16-6 now. BC starting to stretch it here in the first quarter. Saskatchewan has got to have a response and doesn't want to fall out of this one early. Saskatchewan's Eden Wells trying with the little jumper. That doesn't work. Goes off a teammate in BC. A little kick started. And that's Taya Best on the inbound looking for some options. BC's Tara Wallach come to the substitution table. British Columbia now is kind of running at will inside, making things count. Nice left-handed work by the white-hot Marike Duralia. Having a first quarter to remember. There's the under 15 stalwart from BC. Doing it defensively as well. Certainly challenging Saskatchewan's Katie Rathwell there twice. So Duralia making her presence felt. 67 seconds to go in the first. It's 17-6. BC leads Saskatchewan. And it's looking for more, but an errant pass is that save. Nice work by Sammy Shields running that one down. Inside, and able to hang on to that is Tookshare. 58.5 seconds to roll. Here in the first, Saskatchewan been silent for a while since it has lit its side of the scoreboard. Wells under duress from Aikens. He's going to be rewarded for that. Saskatchewan head coach Bree Burgess as well, mic'd up. Saskatchewan brings in Megan Weisgerber, taking Emma Kukara's spot. No substitutions running a little bit rampant here as BC's Kerr comes in, takes the place of Aikens. And the first one's good, gets Saskatchewan back on the board by the omnipresent Wells.
Oh, yeah.
And again, it's 17-8. See if that gives a little bit of spark to Saskatchewan. 14 fouls for Saskatchewan, 3 for British Columbia, which leads 17-8 here early. And that deflection goes awry, and unable to pick that up was Julia Tookshare. Good flick off a hand of a Saskatchewan player, which allows BC baseline possession here late in the first quarter. And floater, and that is good. As BC with Jacqueline getting in on the offensive action. 19-8, 35.1 seconds to go here in the first. Good crowd on hand. Many in green. They're representing Saskatchewan, and black of British Columbia. We also have some teams in tow here. A lot of teams are practicing upstairs today, including New Brunswick's under 17s, which is ready for a major game this afternoon due to scheduling 2 games. Both New Brunswick, the host province, will be playing at 3:45, both against Newfoundland. Nice dish inside. Unable to convert that was Lauren Hodgins. Ball goes out, but Saskatchewan's going to retain possession, 17.1. So if you're a fan of New Brunswick basketball today, you're going to get a workout going upstairs and downstairs. The 15s will play Newfoundland down here. The host 17s play Newfoundland upstairs in the big barn. Inside, nice little fake inside, and that's some good work by Lauren Hodgins. Saskatchewan with a little bit of late life here, trying to protect this lead. And that long distance shot, it's good! Off the hands of Sammy Shields, and I'll tell you what, Shields nails that one. Had a pretty serious look, like, yeah, I do that all the time. And just looked around and then broke into a great big smile as Shields hits the desperation 3. So Saskatchewan with a little bit of momentum with 4 unanswered points at that time before Shields launched it as the buzzer went, and she nailed it. Allows British Columbia a 22-10 lead here after the first quarter. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter. Welcome back to the Richard J. Curry Center on the campus of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. Brad Janes here on CanadaBasketball.tv. Again, thank you for joining us. I know some of you in British Columbia and Saskatchewan, for that matter, up a little early today, and maybe some of you are at work, pretending to work anyway, and you've got the computer turned to us. Thanks for inviting us in. British Columbia, 22-10, first quarter lead, and a foul right off the hop. And it's going to come to BC's Kiara Kerr, who questions that. The last shot of the first quarter by Sammy Shields from just inside half court. Desperation three as the buzzer went. Coach came over just to check a couple of things and said, yeah, she practices that all the time at the end of her workouts. Not a bad thing to do. You never know when you're going to get in that situation. She catapulted it in. And Wells knocks both down. Good start for Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan a little bit of a press. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, but BC able to break that out with some long distance pass. And then Lally's going to settle things down for British Columbia. Never a bad idea to get into the hands of Marike Duralia. She's been good and inside, making an impact off the bench is McKenna Jacklin. 24-12 now. The lead is double. Biggest lead of the game for British Columbia. Nice show and go inside, and that does fall. Good work there by Madison Sita. Some skill out here in the under 15. Some of them making their first national appearance. Going to get called on a carry. Just a little lackadaisical on the hands of British Columbia's Tara Wallach. There was no doubt the game was slowed down. She was just casually dribbling and got called on that. Looked immediately to the bench. Coach shrugged her shoulders and said, yep, that was a carry. So a turnover. And Saskatchewan has it again, trying to dip into the lead. They've got it down to 10. Oh, and some physical play going on in front. Uncalled, letting them play. And going to the rim strong was BC's foresight. Doesn't work, and then the putback, though. Desjardins, money on the spot. Well, we have seen some physical play here. Doesn't matter if it's under 15 or under 17. Players diving on the hardwood. No regard for their bodies whatsoever. Cito is under some duress, but gets it to Wells. Wells puts it in as Weisgerber. That play fails to negotiate contact between Weisberger and Madison Sita. But good teammates at the arrow and over. Slapped hands. Move on to the next place. 26-14. British Columbia, 8:18 to go here in the second quarter. Again, seeding game for playoff positioning between these two provincial rivals. And Kukera trying to track it down. Outstanding work to keep that alive. Cutting inside, going left-handed. Is that going to fall? It doesn't. Tough miss there by Madison Sita. Good work by Saski, keeping that alive. Sita inside. Passing underneath between the bigs, and just a shot goes off the hands of Logan Reeder. That doesn't work, and BC's going to airmail it out with Wallach. She leaves it back for Desjardins, who calls out the play on the point position. Kicks it inside, pass well by Wallach to get it off, and then back into Desjardins. She scores lefty, does Lee. Stretches the lead now to 28-14. Saskatchewan trying to get in, but blocked. Giveaway right there, right onto the hands of Saskatchewan's Emma Kukero does a good job. And we're going to have a timeout by Saskatchewan, who first asked her crew to hustle in there, trailing 28-16, 7:21 to go in the first quarter. Oh, there was a mix-up of a timeout there. Folks thought it was a timeout on the play by Saskatchewan, but it wasn't. Referee quickly bringing that in. That's Eric Seguin out of Gatineau, Quebec. Connor Esterbrooks from Quispamsis, New Brunswick, about 75 minutes down Highway 7 in his home province doing a national championship. There's a bid for three, and nailing that was Tara Wallach. It's 31-16. And we have a timeout now that's actually legitimate. A little bit of confusion. You can hear referee Eric Seguin now just explaining to the table, so there was a little bit of confusion there. Irrelevant now. It is a timeout taken by Saskatchewan, which is now staring at a 15-point deficit, 31-16 for British Columbia. Don't forget the Canadian women's national team is heading to the FIBA Women's World Cup in Spain from September 22nd to 30th. You can stay informed of Team Canada news and results by visiting Canada Basketball's website, its Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram. A lot of interest is going to be across the country for that women's team, and this is a tournament that is heavily scouted. Just yesterday, that under-17 game between British Columbia and New Brunswick had a plethora of U Sports, Canadian Collegiate Athletic Association coaches and recruiters, prep schools here in the Maritimes, and some NCAA south of the border recruiters and scouts in town following this tournament. It is a big deal, and those many who have played or are playing at that senior level now for Team Canada, men's and women's side, got some starts here. Canada Basketball National Age Class Championships. Want to have a shout out too to Kamloops, British Columbia, which is hosting the under-17 and under-15 boys championship this week. Next year, actually, both cities will flip-flop. The boys will come to Fredericton next August, and the girls will out to Kamloops, to BC, for the girls' version of this tournament. So there'll be a lot of notes comparing, that's for sure, between the two cities and the two organizations, which of course are Basketball British Columbia and Basketball New Brunswick, as they get set for back-to-back events. You never plan for power outages, that's for sure. That was an odd play. That inbound went off the backboard, and Saskatchewan turns it over, looking for any type of a spark to ignite that offense, see if it can take advantage. Long distance shot by Logan Reeder goes wide. Nice job by Lee to keep it in, and she gets it right back. Under some heat from Kukara. Does it good work. She's got speed and agility. Does lead. Looking inside for the give and go. That worked earlier, but the give was there. The go just didn't work. And instead, wild shot and crashing through, trying to keep that in. That's Lauren Johnston for BC. Saskatchewan with some major wholesale trades there. 6:14 to go in the first half or second quarter, whichever your preference. 31-16 BC went on a nice run late in the first. Create some separation. And now Saskatchewan trailing, and that ball was in. How that stayed out, the dynamics of physics working against Saskatchewan there. He was never much of a physics major, that's for sure, but I understand that. Sometimes just the spin ratio of the ball is the difference. Right there by Saskatchewan's Eden Wells, and that ball is flipped in. Outstanding job by Paul McCarthy, the commissioner for today's game, keeping that one in tow and protecting Ryan Chase, the head coach of the Mount Allison University Mountie women's team, who is standing there. So McCarthy with the hands up quickly, allowing Coach Chase to continue his recruiting efforts for Mount Allison. He's a New Brunswick native, just took over a proud Mount Allison program actually last month after Matt Gamblin had departed to take over the University of Prince Edward Island Panthers of U Sports. Chase was out at Briarcrest College in Saskatchewan last year as an assistant coach to Patrick Havard with the women's team in Caronport, Saskatchewan. The aforementioned Saskatchewan crew here at under 15 trying to cut into this deficit. It trails 31-16, 5.5 minutes to go in the first half, and that's not going to get it done. An errant pass goes into the first row. Again, solid crowd on hand here. In the under 15 division, particularly at the girls, a lot of family members travel to these national tournaments. Many, it's the first time on a plane getting away. Quite an experience, whether it's your first, maybe the first of perhaps four for some of these girls. Any underagers, and wailing her way in there was BC's Lily Pink, but that came up short. And Saskatchewan had a couple of coast-to-coast. Nice dish off, and that bucket is scored. So good work by the speedy Madison Ceda to set up her teammate. 31-18 now, Saskatchewan trails. BC has shown some patience, and a steal. Is that going to work? Taking that away is Eden Wells. Goes in untouched against Lee. And we're going to get a timeout from British Columbia. As head coach Leanne Evans doesn't like what she sees, Leanne actually is pulling. It's a hard enough job being a head coach at this level, but she also works for CanadaBasketball.tv. So on Monday, she was actually stringing cord upstairs, getting the wiring and everything going as part of her role. And once you get everything set up for we on the webcast, then she's got to turn her attention to practicing. Multitasking at its finest. I'm Brad James on CanadaBasketball.tv. Thanks for joining us here as we get into the teeth of this tournament. No doubt about that. And just a reminder, too, that Canada Basketball is a not-for-profit organization. It'd be difficult to produce national events like this without the efforts of a dedicated team. Canada Basketball letting folks know that Basketball New Brunswick host committee, administrators, officials, and volunteers have made this just a tremendous event. And the University of New Brunswick, where it is hosted with this magnificent facility named after Dr. Richard J. Curry, a native of the south end of St. John. Very successful and still has an office here on the 6th floor of the building that's named after him. Just a great place because as a spectator, you don't have to go very far to see either court. 2 practice facilities on campus. The old Lady Beaverbrook Gymnasium, which was home to UNB basketball and volleyball for decades. And the South Gym, which is an auxiliary gymnasium on campus. There's a foul. Some good sportsmanship there, though, by Taya Best. Picking up Saskatchewan's Katie Rathwell. That's the second foul for Best. She's going to come out and have a seat. Once again, Coach Evans not wanting to take a chance that Best is going to pick up her third here late in the first half. 4:18 and counting. Saskatchewan possession, but it trails 31-20. Cutting into the lead a little bit has stemmed some of the BC tide. Good battle going on between Lee and Saskatchewan's Wells, who cut through and knifed through some traffic. Unsuccessful on the lefty layup. BC down looking to pad. Kerr has it, wings it out to Lee. Nice job inside. There's that give and go. We've seen that a couple of times. Lee misses this time. Some good work there with teammate Lily Pink. That just comes up short. And Deja Lee goes over and has a little amicable chat with her teammate Pink, saying next time we got each other. 3:49 to play, 11-point lead. It's 31-20 for British Columbia as BC's Kiara Kerr takes a seat. Wallach thought about going, pulls up for the shot, thought she had an angle on the right side, and elected to have a long range bid. Comes up short. Saskatchewan inside. Madison Sita. Just a little bit of daylight's all she needed. And Saskatchewan now with a little bit of a run, but now takes a foul. As Connor Esterbrooks, one of the officials, calls that on Emma Kukara. That's her first. The under 15 level, remember, 2 official system. Under 17 is a 3 official operation. There are 8 New Brunswick officials here at this national event in their own provincial backyard. And there's that job and a good battle underneath as we have a tie-up between Wells and Julia Tukshire. Maybe mild-mannered by day, but you put them on a basketball court and start to show some teeth. And there's a little bit of another carry. It's the second carry we've seen. That goes against Saskatchewan's Katie Rathwell. So BC just seeing a sizable lead now shrink to 9 here in the waning moments of the first half. Deja Lee, plenty of room on the left and right wing, but looking to get a little fancier. The ball works, gets inside. Tukshire chucks that in. It's 33-22 now. Eden Wells directing the Saskatchewan offense. Out. It's nice work to the right. Goes in against 4. She gets fouled. And BC's Tara Wallach goes over to pick her up. That foul goes against Deja Lee. That's her second. Fourth team foul for BC. Saskatchewan with just one foul. So Lee comes out of the game a game. Head coach protecting her stalwart player. Doesn't want her picking up a third here late. Wells has been a force for Saskatchewan here in the early going. And Wells knocks that down. Cool as a cucumber. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. 33-24, 2:48 and counting. British Columbia with possession, looking to extend its lead if it can, trying to stem a little bit of a Saskatchewan tide, if you will. And there's some good work there by Kukara, causing all kinds of chaos. Gets into the BC zone, fires a pass, and looking for the hands of teammate Katie Rathwell. Well, that doesn't go. A bit of relief there by BC. As it trucks out again with Tara Wallach. So on the right side, and good hands by, look at that hustle, just Eden Wells showing that prairie grit right there. Doesn't mind getting her jersey dirty. Saskatchewan looking for a little bit of a boost, and that foul goes against Eliza Aikens. That's her second of the tilt. And once again, coming out to question that is Saskatchewan's Bree Burgess. Looking to get an explanation from Quebec's Eric Seguin. One of the officials again, along with Connor Estabrooks. The officials are evaluated every game of this tournament. Always good at the national events to see Mike McKay as well. In charge of the women's high performance in this country. I asked him how he watches every game, and he said most of them are always unique. It doesn't matter if it's 75-20 or 87-86. He said you can always pick something up in a game and always try to learn something. Always a study when you're in a position like that. Not too many players that Mr. McKay doesn't know across this vast land from Newfoundland to British Columbia. Speaking of British Columbia, a 33-26 lead now as Saskatchewan is starting to create some havoc and some turnovers. Almost had one there. Let's see if BC can make them pay. Unable to nail that as Lally, which had a wide open bid. Oh, and a nice job inside, but that falls short. Unable to knock that down. So Saskatchewan with a real chance to make a second quarter run here. Wells turns that one over, and BC on the march. Getting some good looks inside, and a step back three bid goes short from Sammy Shields.
Julia, take there, shooter's open. First time shoot.
That's a foul on Saskatchewan. Away from the play, Vanderhoof takes that. Again, Burgess asking for an explanation from Connor Estabrooks, who just motions for Saski's Lauren Hodgins come in. I'll take that under advisement, he said. Thanks, Coach, for the information. Buck 41 to go here in the second quarter, 33-26. British Columbia trying to add to it right there. It's been cold for a while, and missing that was Izzy Forsyth, but BC with some good work by Lally keeps it alive. There's another three bid from the right hand of Sammy Shields. Goes off the rim, and Saskatchewan moves it. And hard as Rathwell kicks it out, and there's a three bid. Comes up a little short from Wells. Rebound. Saskatchewan shooting it. Knocking that one down is Emma Kukara. 65 seconds to go here. If not 71, how about that? Getting some mathematic problems going here in the second quarter. We'll figure it out. 33-28. It's been a while since Saskatchewan has been this close. BC a little bit ice cold here in the later stages of this first half. Trying to change that, and some nice work through traffic. Unable to get it to go was Wallach. Tukshare right there for the easy left-handed tap in. 35-28 with 45 seconds to roll here in the first half. Saskatchewan a little bit of a run, trying to get something positive. Take it into the locker room. Maybe two bid and a follow-up to teach you to follow. Missing it for a third bid. She's finally going to get fouled is Logan Reeder. Started with a long distance shot, follow-up missed, and the third bid finally ended up forcing Neo Lally to take a foul. That's her first, and going to the line after some yeoman-like work there is Logan Reeder. Knocks down the first one. 31.3 seconds to go in the first half, 35-29. And Reeder with an opportunity to bring Saskatchewan as close as it's been since early in the first quarter. She does exactly that, so that's all on Logan Reeder. 3 bids to score, come up short. But thanks to that third one, taking the foul, she sinks both free throws. So BC doesn't have the shot clock in its favor, can't run it out for a one-shot. Nice work and a spin move inside. And the answer there from Izzy Forsyth. Saskatchewan now looking to run the court quickly, and that's Reeder again. Goes in, pops, fakes, puts it in. And BC's going to have some shots. You saw they did it in the first quarter with a long-distance bomb. They got 2 seconds to do it, and launching it for the second time is BC's Tara Wallach, but that one just goes off the plexiglass. No dramatics like Sammy Shields had in the first quarter. And all of a sudden, that first quarter bomb by Sammy Shields as time expired for a 3 comes up pretty big right now. That lead is 37-32 for BC as it heads into the locker room. Remember, leading 22-10 after the first quarter. And Saskatchewan with some late first half offensive prowess has turned this into a ball game. We'll go and have a 15 intermission right now, and we'll be back on CanadaBasketball.tv. We'll be chatting in 15. Welcome back to the Richard J. Curry Center on the campus of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. We're settling in and getting ready for some second half action between British Columbia and Saskatchewan. A bit of a tale of two storylines here today. BC out to a 22-10 first quarter lead. Looked to be ready to walk away with it, led by 14 at one point. Saskatchewan, to its credit, battled back, trails by 5, 37-32 as we get set for second half action. Eden Wells, major spark plug for Saskatchewan. She played just a tick over 17 minutes, scored 10 points to lead all Saskatchewan players responsible for the big spark. BC really spreading the offensive wealth out. Duralia, who had a nice run in the first quarter, led all scorers along with Deja Lee with 6 each for British Columbia. Certainly a well-balanced offensive attack by BC, which leads us. Saskatchewan looking for a quick start. Out of bounds is Madison Sita. A turnover here early. And over half, it's just a mental error there by BC's Izzy Forsyth, who turned looking for a target, couldn't find it, and stepped back into her half of the court. As Wells looking for an inside target, she's going to be in danger of a 5-second violation, and that's exactly what happened. So in the span of a couple of seconds, we've had a couple of turnovers here. One on a back over and one unable to get the inbound, and sometimes you just have to move your feet. That easy play is not always there, so it's got to be an emergency backup plan. That failed to materialize for Saskatchewan. Now looking to go inside, picking that up as Lally. She was good in the first half, goes in, tries to duck up a finger roll layup, doesn't work, tries to tap it out from behind. Not giving up on the play was Naya Lally. And now it's Wells' turn. Again, leading all scorers with 10, but she's against a formidable foe in Deja Lee, causing all kinds of chaos there, which now results with Lally on the court. Lee gets it, fumbles it a second. Going to settle this down, and finally BC with it. So the first 60 seconds has been a bit of unscripted chaos here between these two Western rivals. Under 15 game, Canada Basketball Championships here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. BC battling for it, finally rewarded. Well, the right hand put back by Izzy Forsyth, and she's going to go to the line. That foul is on Katie Rathwell.
Sure, who's that foul?
That's going to be her first.
Number 6, Izzy Forsyth on the line for the
11.
And to the line is Forsyth. Caps that play. 40-32 lead now for BC. And good crowd support here. The temporary bleachers, bunch of the back seats are filled with green of Saskatchewan, black of British Columbia. And some bipartisan fans here as well. And there's a response by Madison Sita. 40-34, BC with Deja Lee setting the offense. Looking to cut to the basket and get it back. That fails to materialize, but coming around is Lally. 3 bid.
Number 1.
Doesn't roll in. That goes out of bounds. See who gets possession. It's Saskatchewan. A wide open 3 look. And some tight quarters here. See if this game goes down to the wire. Some early games, predictable. Not close on day 1. Things start tightening up in day 2, and then tighten up even more on 3 as Lee goes in, sends Eden Wells to the ground. She's going to pick up a personal. That's going to be Deja Lee's 3rd foul. She's going to come out here early in the 3rd quarter indeed. Coming in for her is Sammy Shields. Saskatchewan looking to cut in again. Pick and roll doesn't work. All goes awry. BC is going to gain possession. Saskatchewan coach Burgess very animated on the sideline. Nice steal there. Going in for a left-handed layup. That does indeed fall by Eden Wells. A pesky guard for Saskatchewan. She's been on the floor. She's been in the paint, shooting it. BC has their hands full with there, and there's a nail it. Second third from Sammy Shields, who just come in for Deja Lee, who had picked up her third foul. It's a second three for Shields. These under 15 teams don't mind shooting it. That's for sure. 6 points now for Shields. All on trays. She's back at it again. Doesn't knock that one down. The game just not hesitating to shoot it. BC leads 43-36. Pace picking up here. 6.5 minutes to go. Saskatchewan inside. There's an answer. Katie Rathwell brings Sasky back to within 5. Now BC with some 2-on-2 action, settling it down is Forsyth. She gets it back. Looking just inside for Lally. Lally going to the net, gets it on the cut, throws in the left hand, misses that, picked up there by guess who? Eden Wells. Starts it out for Saskatchewan. Slowing things down here, 6:15 to go. Big possession for Saskatchewan underneath. Nice pass. See if her teammate Madison Shields can get it, and some perseverance there. Indeed, she scores it. We're now 43-40. Saskatchewan on the comeback trail. BC looking to answer. Led by a bunch in the first quarter, 12 after the first quarter. Extended that, doubled the lead at one point in time, but there is a big answer for Nea Lally. Big bucket and a timeout goes to Saskatchewan, so that's a 3-ball for the diminutive point guard for BC. Come into the second half with 2 points, and she was a +9 in that first half. Effective player for BC. 46-40 now for British Columbia, leading Saskatchewan in a pretty good seeding battle here at the under 15 level. Brad James, thanks for joining us on CanadaBasketball.tv. Having a lot of fun here in Fredericton with this tournament. Already into Wednesday. Everything leads, of course, towards playoffs today. Down to the real nitty-gritty later in the week. And then, of course, the medals will come into the Richard J. Curry Center on Saturday. As this tournament wraps up, the last time Fredericton hosted a Canada Basketball Championship was in this very facility in 2012, the Curry Center. Actually, it was the first major event held here, which opened in 2011. Coming this fall, look out for a new season of Canada's national grassroots basketball program. It's Junior NBA Youth Basketball, a program designed for Canadian children between the ages of 5 and 12 in order to develop fundamental skills, sportsmanship, and a love of the game. For more information, visit basketball.ca, and some fundamentals on display here in this battle. Charging towards the bucket is Emma Kukra. Doesn't make it happen for Kukara. 5:35 to go here in the third quarter. 46-40 in an up and down game between BC and Saskatchewan. Nice bid by Kaya Best, trying to set up her teammate Duralia, who's gone quiet after 6 points. Led BC on a nice run. Saskatchewan making some adjustments. Things working out in its favor as it tries to get down. Had cut the game to within 3, but a big 3-ball from Lally has created a 6-point game, and that shot actually bounced off the back of the head of Lauren Hodgins. BC turned it over, but now a foul. It's not a football. Saskatchewan's going to get the ball. And this Coach Burgess, pretty animated on the sideline. Just did a little bit of a stop and a pop there herself. The only thing she was missing was the basketball. Tell you a little story about something that unfolded here last night too after this play, and there is Marike Duralia answering. Must have heard me. As she stretches BC's lead to 8. Saskatchewan playing behind most of the game. Now trailing by 8 again is BC. Creating all kinds of havoc is Lally, but Saskatchewan does a good job keeping it in. Shot clock has 10 seconds left in it. This pass underneath, and there's a hack. as Saskatchewan's Logan Reeder tries to go up and get two. The foul is going to go against Duralia. That's her first. Plays a physical game, but is kept out of foul trouble as Reeder goes to the line. Michaela Dodig is a varsity basketball player with the UNB Reds, the Atlantic University U Sports. She's a summer intern with Basketball New Brunswick, and part of her training is, of course, working out. So she got the idea yesterday, with so many university players that are coaches at the under 15 and under 17 level from across the country, and a number of Reds that are in town training here in Fredericton in anticipation of the 2018-19 season. Michaela went to work, organized a scrimmage last night that actually attracted quite a few spectators, and players for that matter. This is a pretty high-paced energy scrimmage between a lot of present-day U Sport players. Just getting out a workout. Everybody's got their sneakers here if they're coaching and their workout gear, so it was quite an operation for Michaela Dodig, whose sister is actually playing under 17 for Ontario. So I said to her this morning that she's actually created what's going to be a tradition for all future tournaments. So if you're listening out in Kamloops and you want to organize a scrimmage next year for the Girls' Championships, somebody will take charge of that. 48-41, British Columbia ahead. Right directly in front of us is Sammy Shields inbounding, lofts it up to Julia Tukshare. And back to Shields, who certainly doesn't mind launching it. See if she does a step back here. No, goes inside. Spin move. 3 in. The key for BC. So that's a turnover, as BC's Jacqueline was hoping to cash in. Now a little bit of pressure by BC, but it relents. And Saskatchewan's Wells is able to walk in the offensive territory, looking for some sort of a pick and get it inside. Pass goes awry off the left shin of Lauren Hodgins. Now Wells going to make up for that, and the interception bid there by Saski's Lauren Hodgins. All kinds of action, but a little bit of... We have a timeout on the court for British Columbia with 4 minutes exactly to go here in the third quarter. 48-41. British Columbia leads. We'll be back in 20 seconds. And we're back at the Richard J. Curry Center. Late third quarter action here. Under 15 Canada basketball battle between British Columbia and Saskatchewan. 48-41. It's turned into an entertaining contest. BC with a 22-10 after the initial 10 minutes. Saskatchewan has battled back, but British Columbia has done an outstanding job of warding off some pressure. Saskatchewan had cut it to 3 at one point, but now it's back up to 7, but could set the stage. It could be a solid final. And the drive in there was Jacqueline. That didn't work. Good on her to come right back and get the rebound in the speedy rally.
3 seconds silent for shot clock, please.
Thank you.
And the shot clock violation, not a violation, it's just going to be counted down to 3 seconds. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. 3 team fouls for Saskatchewan.
Okay,
2 for British Columbia.
Go center screen.
As we just try to get the shot clock. Kind of a unique situation here with the shot clocks. They're actually 30-inch television screens. There's a camera underneath the main camera able on a secondary clock, and that's counting down. So if you're having a look at a unique-looking shot clock, but great opportunity to get some high-definition shot clock work. It's the first personal on McKenna Jacqueline, BC. And Saskatchewan trailing 48-41, 3:23 to play here in the third quarter in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Under 15 national championships. And she's going to make it all the way to the bucket. Great work inside by Madison Sita. But on the follow-up, Saskatchewan cuts into it. Excellent work as Katie Rathwell responsible for that. But BC, there's the answer again. And British Columbia has just had an answer. Dancing with some danger of blowing a big lead here, but able to respond. Pump fake and then a kick out. Wells guides in. A little left-handed floater comes short. She's going to go battle for it. Tries to keep it in. Doesn't. 2:39 to go. Substitutions coming in. 50-43 for BC. Again, this is a makeup game. They were supposed to play earlier in the week, but a power outage. We've had 2 power outages here in Fredericton. Crazy storm on Monday that lasted about 5 minutes. Just blew out transformers, knocked down trees, some flash flooding, you name it. It was a little bit wild. So this game, and of course there is a buffer on the schedule midweek. Short day yesterday with the banquet. So this game is the only game being played as teams gather upstairs and will gather here for some 1:30 action. And McKenna Jacqueline making her presence felt here. And some big buckets, including that one from the charity stripe. He gets to do it again. Misses on that, goes 1 for 2. Tries to get it. Good hustle there. And that allows BC to gain possession again, leading 51-43. 4 team fouls on Saskatchewan, 3 on BC here. 2 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the third quarter. Stretching it out to 8 points is BC. Jacqueline again upside. Misses on the left layup. Fierce battle for the ball. Saskatchewan's going to come up with it with Katie Rathwell. Long lead by Wells. And to Sita, that's in and out. Happened a couple of times to Saski, which is going to gain possession. Making a switch at the last second. Rathwell coming in to inbound. Move, see if it goes outside or underneath. They've had 1 5-second violation on them. Not going to happen this time. As Sita gets it, pulls up jumper, short on the rim. BC with the rebound. Good work. There's your lead back out now. Key cog in that offense, and a long 3, but that's out of bounds. 2:02 to play here in the third quarter. It's 51-43 for BC, able to ward off some fierce Saskatchewan pressure. Let's see if the Prairie Province has a chance here to cut into it. BC's had an answer every time Saskatchewan has gone on a run, and there's been a couple of them. Credit to BC. Wild layup bid by Wells doesn't work. British Columbia with Deja Lee just going to slow this puppy down a little bit. Gains the timeline, working against her numerical counterpart Wells, and there's a screen at the top of the key that's going to be called. Number 11, McKenna Jacqueline, who's had a solid third quarter for BC, picks up her second personal. Both teams now with 4 fouls apiece on the team side here with 1:36 to go in the third. Sita has it. Top of the key, looking for something inside. Not eyeing the rim. She's going to run into some trouble here in a second. That 3 in the key violation. Turns that one over. 1:22 to play in quarter number 3. Under 15 action from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Canada's national age class championships here in New Brunswick's capital. And this is one that's not going to be 3, but does come up short from Duralia. See if she gets a second bid to make up for that. Floats in a nice left-handed layup. That's a nice feed from Deja Lee, the BC guard, showing flashes of brilliance here in what is now early afternoon in New Brunswick. There's a 3 bid from Kikara. That doesn't fall. Battle underneath, picking that up. Was Hodgins unable to convert. But what usually happens in a scramble like that, it's either a bucket or a foul. And that was indeed a critical foul for Deja Lee. See if they get her out. That's her 4th, and she does indeed come to the bench as BC's Tara Wallach comes in. And guess who's coming in for Saskatchewan now that Lee takes a seat? Eden Wells, as Emma Kukara switches out. Going to the line is Lauren Hodgins. This is going to be interesting now. So it's a 10-point lead right now for British Columbia. Deja Lee, offensive catalyst for British Columbia, now has 4 personals. So she's going to have to take a seat, and that's just that judgment call on a coach. When do you bring that player in with 4 fouls? She's going to sit for a little bit. We'll see if Saskatchewan can take advantage or who's going to step up for BC. And we've seen some step-up duty, too, from the likes of Sammy Shields. Naya Lally's been very good for the British Columbians. Lally with the ball now. 39 seconds and counting to go here. 9-point game. BC up ahead and inside. Unable to convert that was Wallach. As I talked about just a couple of minutes ago, British Columbia has done a great job in answering Saskatchewan challenges. Now Saskatchewan in the waning seconds of the second quarter out of bounds. Goes Logan Reeder, and we talked about that in the first quarter. I've seen more foot violations, out-of-bound violations on this court than I have upstairs. Got to be aware of your feet. BC with a chance to gain some momentum going into the fourth quarter. They're going to hold it for 1 shot. Shot clock, game clock, almost identical. Upstairs goes Wallach, doesn't get it. Scramble for the ball. BC's not going to have a chance to get rid of that one, as Saskatchewan's Lauren Hodgins had it, but didn't have a chance for a last-second dramatic shot. And we're going to enter the fourth quarter. 53-44 BC will tell the tale over the next 10 minutes. We'll be back in a minute and a half. Welcome back to the Richard J. Curry Center on the campus of the beautiful University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. Brad James on CanadaBasketball.tv for this pivotal fourth quarter under 15 Canada Basketball National Championship pool tilt. Teams looking for better seedings as we get into the meat of this tournament. And playoff settings starting to become a little bit more clear. British Columbia with a 53-44 lead right now. Missing that outside bid was Tara Wallach, but BC maintains possession. The story of this now, BC's point guard Deja Lee with 4 fouls. Picked that up late in the third quarter, but British Columbia with some good work inside. Unscoring there was Izzy Forsyth. Saskatchewan back for a 3. Doesn't work as Katie Rathwell comes up a little bit long on that one. 55-44, 9:17 to go. British Columbia had a 22-10 lead after 1. Saskatchewan cut it to 5 at the half. And we're going to have the quarter's first foul. That's going to go against Saskatchewan's Megan Weisgerber, her second personal. Coach Burgess imploring her Saskatchewan Charges to work together. And see, BC's done an outstanding job shutting off any rallies. Coming up with some big defensive rebounds as well, and some critical turnovers as we see right there. So British Columbia trying to stretch. It's 11-point game at this under 15 level. Workhorse Nail Lally spinning and bobbing and weaving, gets it to her right. Wallach dumps it in to Tuchare. Be an offensive foul. That foul goes against Izzy Forsyth. That's her first personal. 8:42 to go here in quarter 4. 55-44 is the margin for British Columbia. Here comes Wells. Played almost the entire first half. Going to finish right around the 36-minute mark, depending on the outcome of this game. When all is said and done, there's a floater, doesn't go by Saskatchewan. Katie Rathwell's been around the rim all day. Wells comes up short. Trying to pick up that rebound was Reeder, but it's knocked out of bounds by Izzy Forsyth. And a timeout for Saskatchewan here early in the fourth quarter. Plenty of action coming up here for the rest of the day on Canada Basketball TV. One-stop shopping if you're unable to make it to Fredericton. Plenty of action here at the Richard J. Curry Center. Fredericton no stranger to hosting national events, particularly on campus here at UNB. Anybody that follows U Sports Hockey will know the UNB has done a tremendous job of hosting national championships a number of years, just coming off back-to-back National Hockey University Championships. All kinds. St. Thomas here, which shares the campus with the University of New Brunswick, hosted Women's Nationals Hockey a couple of years ago. Basketball U Sports Championships have been held here in recent memory. The city always turns out to support, whether it's basketball, volleyball, hockey, it doesn't seem to matter. Throw a national championship Fredericton's way, and New Brunswick's way for that matter. People are going to respond, whether it's volunteering or coming out to watch the games. This is always just an outstanding tournament, and you just see, whether it's the boys in Kamloops or the girls here in Fredericton, just youthful exuberance. Skill level tremendous as well. I think guest speaker at the banquet last night, Kaylee Kilpatrick, a New Brunswick professional basketball player, in case you're just joining us. She graduated in 4 years with a degree in biochemistry and medicine and was a top-line player at the D1 level. She's decided to put her career on hold while she plays professional basketball. Going to the line.
16.
And this is Saskatchewan's Katie Rathwell. That was the first foul, by the way, on British Columbia's Julia Tuchare. Good on the second bids. Cuts the lead now to 10. Saskatchewan had closed to within 3 at one point in this game. Big steal. Kukara can't make it work. Big rebound. And a quick dribble out is BC's Izzy Forsyth. She's been impressive. They can do it. It's great to see the bigger kids not just putting them under the bucket. You have to have dribbling skills and ability to have good footwork, especially at this level. Both teams showing that. A Foul looks like it's going to come up against Saskatchewan's Skylar Kasich. It's going to be her first. 7:54 to go here in the fourth. 55-45 is the score for British Columbia. Both teams with 2 team fouls. BC has 2 timeouts left. Just 1 for Saskatchewan. Something to keep an eye on. I'm not sure if that was a pass or an errant shot by Sammy Shields. She puts her hands on her head, but gets a touch of love from the coach, saying that's okay. 7:49 to play. Some emotions are on display. Some athletic squads here today. 2 Western Canadian squads duking it out in New Brunswick. There's a foul from behind. Not sure if Shields is picking that one up or not. It is indeed for British Columbia. That's her first. She's been involved too, so done well to get to 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Just her first personal. Saskatchewan trying to make some hay on the free throw line to cut into this 10-point deficit. Back on the line is Katie Rathwell. Tried to body English that one in, no go. See if she's good on the second bid. She is indeed. 9-point games. Saskatchewan's Madison Sita checks in, and Rathwell gets a well-deserved rest on the bench. Brad Janes, CanadaBasketball.tv. Thanks for inviting us into wherever you're watching this game. Coming up to 1 o'clock Atlantic Daylight Time. Good morning to the folks out west. And some good work there by Wells. Said that a few times today. Fakes the pass, goes in, misses. Big rebound by British Columbia. That was Marike Duralia. Just done a nice job today. Forsyth's going to bomb one from Threeville. Doesn't go. Battle for Saskatchewan. Sita comes up with it. Starts the attack. Some good back pursuit. Forces Sita to put the brakes on. Going to have a 3 bid for Saskatchewan. Banging that in is Emma Kukara. It's 55-49, 6:55 to go. Buckle up. We got a dandy unfolding here at the Richard J. Curry Center in Fredericton, and a foul is going to come against Logan Reeder of Saskatchewan. That's 3rd team foul. That's number 2 personal on Logan Reeder. So all kinds of implications. Remember, Deja Lee, star guard with BC's on the bolt with 4 fouls. When is she going to come back into the game? Both teams nursing 3 team fouls. And BC trying to stretch its lead. It's had an answer. Doesn't here. Going back up. Great job inside by Wallach. Scores a big bucket. 57-49. Saskatchewan tries to answer. A 3 bid off the left wing by Sita doesn't fall. Now BC a chance to stretch again. Some good work that last spin down by Wallach. She's got the ball again. Battling hard against Wells. Goes inside. Not rewarded for her effort there, but she is rewarded in the form of going to the charity stripe as Wells picks up the hack. That's her 2nd foul. And now Saskatchewan in a little bit of danger with 4 team fouls with 6:12 to play. And BC working an 8-point lead. And I'll tell you what, Tara Wallach, who's on the line right now, is a solid job in the last 40 seconds, making things happen offensively for British Columbia. If she can sink the second half of this, she does exactly that. Nothing but mesh. And it's a 9-point lead for British Columbia. Entertaining contest here. First one of the day. National Under-15 Championships in Fredericton. Sita has it. Moves down on the right side. Tried to dish it inside to teammate Hodgins. That doesn't work. Some good defensive play by BC. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Saskatchewan's going to have the ball.
No catch, Izzy. Take it away, Iz, take it away, Iz.
Bench imploring a shot, and that goes wide from Hodgins. Picking up a foul is Saskatchewan's Megan Weisgerber. He's trying to get some possession, and that is indeed the 5th team foul, which is going to send BC to the line. Tyler Slip, the acting executive director of Basketball New Brunswick, hanging down near the scorer's table. Spent a lot of time out in British Columbia. Former head coach of the University of Waterloo Warriors. His mom, Joyce Slip, actually, is a New Brunswick sporting legend. Joyce was actually Canada's team captain at the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, the first time women's basketball made an Olympic appearance. Joyce was also a tremendous field hockey player, coached for years at the University of New Brunswick. Basketball certainly in Tyler's blood. He moved back, he and his wife and 3 young children. And Carolyn Pepin, the executive director of Basketball New Brunswick's on maternity leave, so solid position, good timing for Tyler Slip to join us, and Basketball New Brunswick's certainly happy to have him. 59-49, BC leads, but Saskatchewan gets to go to the line with Madison Sita. Try to start some late game comeback hopes, and she's good on the first one, much to the approval of the Saskatchewan contingent sitting on the metal bleachers here at the Curry Center Recreational Gym. Knocks down both. Does Madison Sita. 8-point game, BC. Let's see what it does here. Remember, Deja Lee sitting on the bench with 4 fouls. How long before BC goes to her? And there's a time violation as Izzy Forsyth couldn't get it over, get stopped up. And you know Deja Lee's on the bench vibrating, looking to get back into this game. Saskatchewan with a big chance here. Cutting in a little floater. That doesn't go. It looked like it was deflected a little bit, but Saskatchewan is going to regain or retain possession. Katie Rathwell tried to have a quick strike there. 1 timeout left for Saskatchewan, 2 for British Columbia. All kinds of drama unfolding here this morning. What does Saskatchewan have in its comeback bid tank, and who's going to pick up the foul on this one? It goes against British Columbia. That's Lily Pink picks that up. That's her second. Both teams now in bonus. BC having a conversation as head coach Leanne Evans having a conversation with referee Connor Esterbrooks that she didn't agree with that one. Regardless, going to the line is Saskatchewan. Katie Rathwell's put herself together a pretty good contest here. Sinks the front end of that bid. And the second one for good measure. It's a 6-point lead. Saskatchewan's been as close as 3 here during critical parts of the game. But British Columbia has done an excellent job, whether scoring inside or getting a clutch 3. You don't want to get too fancy, either team, at this point of the game. Shot clock down to 4. Can BC get anything off? And going hard to the rim was Duralia. Doesn't work. Turnover on the clock. And hit rim. Saskatchewan with a bid. It trails by 6. 4:45 to go here in the 4th. And a 3 bid from Sita comes up a little short. Who's going to get the rebound? It goes off the hands of Saskatchewan's Skyla Kasich. Now some subs coming in for both teams, and there's Deja Lee coming back. 4.5 minutes to go. Remember, she has 4 personals, matching her numerical roster number. See if Saskatchewan goes hard at her. She's a difference maker, especially moving that ball into offensive territory. She's double teamed now, does good work. Get it away, creates an odd player rush. BC can't convert. Wells gets the ball with a foul. Coming up against British Columbia. And that goes against Marike Duralia. That's her second. Saskatchewan gain. Both teams in the bonus, so all that practice on free throws. Coaches, work on your free throws, work on your free throws ad nauseum. Saskatchewan making a little bit of hay, as I mentioned, from the charity stripe, including the pesky Wells. He knocks that one down. She's been good for the squad in white, green, and gold trim. Gets the friendly roll there. It's 4 59-55 with 4:20. And remember, this is a seeding game. The teams are going to go to the playoffs. There's no easy games here at this national level. And we're seeing that now. Deja Lee back in. Deals with a long bomb, misses that. She's had a couple here. Putting back the rebound is Deja Lee. Big bucket for BC. It leads 61-55. 4 minutes to go here in what's been an entertaining contest at the under-15 division between British Columbia and Saskatchewan. There's a giveaway. Taking full advantage of that is Duralia. She's in and scores, and there it is again. We've seen this the entire game. Every time Saskatchewan has made a game and got back into it, BC has had some fortuitous scoring, just doing the right play, and able to create some separation. So what was a 4-point game just a mere few seconds ago is now an 8-point lead with that little run by BC. Nonetheless, we are going to the line. Duralia, who just picked up that big bucket, gets the open court foul, and back on to the free throw line is Katie Rathwell. The teams have been pretty solid from the free throw line. BC assistant coach imploring his players to get back in. They were out having a little huddle and kind of ran it a little long. Katie Rathwell, 2 for 2. 63-57, 3:35 to go here in this contest. Deja Lee, dangerous pass, but BC makes it work. See if they can make Saskatchewan pay. Doesn't. And there's Rathwell at both ends of the court. Picks up the rebound, wings it out onto the left side. Reader inside scores. 63 and a timeout coming to British Columbia. 63-59, so it's been ebb and flow. 4-point game for BC. It extended it to 8, and now it's back to 4 as we get into the late stages here of quarter number 4. Brad James on Canada Basketball TV. Thanks for joining us as we start our day here on the East Coast. Games coming up at 1:30 Atlantic time. Teams starting to gather for that next level. The host province, New Brunswick, playing at 3:45 in playoff implication games, both playing against Newfoundland. New Brunswick's under-15 teams. A crushing defeat yesterday to Alberta, led the entire game. Some big margins as well. Alberta roared back, won by 4 in complete dramatic fashion. New Brunswick under-17s struggled from the free throw line early to make a game of it against BC, which ended up winning going away, forcing New Brunswick at 1-1. Both NB host teams at 1-1. On moving day here at Canada Basketball's under-15, under-17 championships. We've got a dandy here. We start out that way. BC was leading 22-10 after 10 minutes. But it's been good when it's needed to be, as British Columbia with possession now. That's going to be Sammy Shields in their own zone. Big inbound here. Let's see what happens. I'm surprised it gets into the hands of Lally. Goes into the middle on the old press buster and gets into the hands of Deja Lee. Little skip and a jump and a nice pass inside. Unable to make that go is Duralia. Out of bounds was Madison Sita trying to kickstart the offense, so BC will have another crack at it with a fresh clock.
Hey, don't stay in any one post defense too long.
Officials having a conversation now. And they're going to reset the shot clock to 14 after that conversation between Quebec's Eric Seguin and New Brunswick's Connor Esterbrooks. BC with possession, critical possession here in the late stages of the games. Physical play underneath. Nice job by Duralia, and that's just a good push off, and then floating it in. 65-59 BC. We're under 3 minutes here in this under 15 tilt. It's been a good one and fun to call. Thanks for joining us. Inside, we've seen an awful lot of Rathwell doesn't go. BC with a big rebound. Here's Deja Lee. Breaking into Saskatchewan's zone, looking to try to pad this British Columbia lead, which is now 6. See how Saskatchewan It defends. Both teams, remember, in the bonus. Saskatchewan, 1 timeout left. British Columbia has 1 timeout left. See if that comes into play. Deja Lee with the left-handed layup. It goes, and she's been on the bolt for a while. With those 4 fouls, but coming out and making things happen, she's going to try to complete a 3-point play. Big bucket by Deja Lee for British Columbia at 67-59, and she's got a chance now to stretch it even further. Just like that, what the BC doctor ordered, 68-59, 2:28 to go here in the 4th quarter. Does Saskatchewan have a comeback miracle in it? Can BC weather the storm here in Fredericton, New Brunswick? Charging hard is Reeder. That goes off glass. Logan Reeder with a big bucket. And BC's going to throw that inbounds out on the sideline. Saskatchewan, offensive inbound on the baseline. 2:07 to play. It trails by 7. Precious timeouts now, and off the glass and in. Big bucket by Katie Rathwell. She's had a dandy tilt for the crew in white. And BC with some good work by Forsyth. And just making that timeline handoff to Shields. Shields gets it out to Nail Lally. Surveys the situation and gets it to Deja Lee. There's Shields coming off the screen. Scores! Huge tray. Timeout Saskatchewan quickly. Bang. 71-63. Shields, no hesitation. She made the play, curled inside, came out unchecked. Ball wasn't in her hands longer than a split second. Hammered that one. 71-63 British Columbia. As this game winds down, we'll see. That might be the dagger at this juncture. The game to start the day here in Fredericton. Weather cooled down a little bit, expecting rain tomorrow, and the reason I give you those weather updates is because of the power issues that have affected the tournament and the city of Fredericton. Thousands without power on Monday. Played a game up in the big gym under auxiliary lighting between New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. We might have to put a bunch of cars out in front of the Curry Center and turn the headlights on. Get that one in, but it all went in. Both coaching staffs, referees, and Canada Basketball said, let's play it. There is enough light. It's not like the old days when the lights went on and the only thing we had was a fire alarm, if not a fire exit sign illuminating. So the organizing committee, with the help of Canada Basketball and the officials, made some lemonade out of lemons when the power broke in and created a little bit of a stir. Power's on full display here from both teams. 71-63, BC leads, $1:43 to go in the 4th quarter. Brad James at CanadaBasketball.tv having a blast calling this one. It's been a dandy, long distance shot by Madison Seed. It doesn't go, so BC now with a chance to really salt this game away. Deja Lee motors in, wings it on to the wing. Now BC is going to have a little bit of ball control unless there's some light of day. And offense picks up a foul there. As crashing towards with a floater was Izzy Forsyth. Didn't work. That's her second personal. $71-63. Does Saskatchewan look for 2 here or try to get a 3 to really put the pressure? Sometimes you just want to get 2 and make it a little closer, and a big rejection by Izzy Forsyth. Wow, she went up and matched. Well, that drew certainly a rousing cheer from the BC supporters and the British Columbia bench. Saskatchewan with the inbound. Sita has it on the right wing. Comes in, gets it into Wells. Wells has played a ton here today for Saskatchewan. Nice throw, tried to make that last second adjustment. Looked like she wanted to go to the rim, but opted to pass, intercepted. Saskatchewan looking for a foul, not going to get it inside. is Forsyth. She's been good when she's needed to be, as Izzy Forsyth. Wells now trying to counter, goes with a baby hook, going to get a foul as she gets knocked down, but it's going to be too little too late, barring some crazy collapse here. 73-63 for British Columbia with 48.3 seconds. That foul goes to Dorelia. That's her fourth. Wells knocks that down. Saskatchewan out of timeouts. British Columbia nursing one left. Both teams in the bonus. Been a physical affair almost from the start. And Wells makes that happen as we get a substitution. Julia Tuchscher is going to come in and take the place of Marike Dorelia, who has been very good for British Columbia and gets a nice hand from the supporters here. In a late sub by Saskatchewan is going to be accepted. Emma Kukara slides in place of Madison Sita.
That's surprising.
See if they foul immediately, but Deja Lee has it. Long bomb, and should be an easy two for Lally. It is. Saskatchewan looking for a sub. 75-65. 10-point lead for British Columbia, which is 41.6 seconds away from salting this one. Saskatchewan looking for any edge time clock-wise, but running down. Rathwell thought about shooting, but the big body of BC's Tara Wallach got in the way of that hope. Saskatchewan unable to get anything away, but it does with Rathwell. Nice work underneath by Hodgins, but unable to beat Izzy Forsyth for the rebound, and BC will go to the line to really salt this away. 75-65 in this under 15 Canada basketball seeding tilt. Deja Lee, part of a little bit of drama here when she picked up a fourth foul late in the third quarter, sat for much of the second half. She came back out at an opportune moment, scored a big bucket, and just added some confidence to getting that ball out. BC saying no fouls, a long distance shot. That goes by Madison Seda. And a timeout for British Columbia as it uses its last to advance the ball. So 75-68, 12.9 seconds to play here in this contest. Thank you for joining us on CanadaBasketball.tv. We'll be back for games starting at 1:30 Atlantic Daylight Time, all the way through with games at 6 and 8:15 tonight. You really know what's going on come tomorrow. Playoff jockeying Friday, and of course Saturday with the gold and bronze medal games. Coach Burgess is as animated as any coach I've seen. She's right out on the court there, just showing how to defend. That's what it is about teaching at this U15 level, U17 for that matter as well, to get the fundamentals down, show them. Don't just say do it, actually show them. And a lot of coaching at this level. 12.9 seconds to play. 75-68 BC, and the leaders have possession. Want to get the ball in. It'll be fouled immediately. Wells on Deja Lee. Emma Kukara comes out in replace of Katie Rathwell. Deja Lee to the line. 12 seconds exactly to play in this one. Deja Lee does miss. Misses both. So Saskatchewan, see if it takes a desperation three. Seda with the long distance bomb, that's going to come up short. Pretty much going to do it with 5.6 to go. Saskatchewan with a late sub. As Emma Kukara comes back in, Rathwell's out. 5.6 to go. BC's going to win this game. Just see what happens in terms of the fouls. And then fouled immediately is Izzy Forsyth, who's going to go to the line with 3.7 seconds to play. And Forsyth finds nothing but mesh on that one. She'll cap her second free throw. She's been good today.
Still get this box out with 3 seconds left.
And knocks that one down. So Saskatchewan rolling the ball out with 3.7 to go. BC doesn't want to foul, and a line drive blast comes up short. 77-68. That was a dandy. Again, it appeared that BC was going to run away with it early. Full credit to Saskatchewan for storming back, but British Columbia did a heck of a job on that as we get some knuckles from the officials here.
What's that?
Outstanding game, and you can stay tuned on CanadaBasketball.tv for a full day of Canada Basketball under 17 and under 15 girls national championship action here at the Richard J. Curry Center at the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. Wherever you were today, thanks for joining us. I'm Brad James.
Thanks, Dave.